In this video, we're going to look at top trading quotes and really life quotes from Bill Ackman, who manages Pershing Square Capital. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. So Bill Ackman, have you heard of him from Pershing Square? You probably have, because of his very vocal short position on Herbalife. Now, whenever you're watching this video, you might see whether A, he's been proved right and Herbalife has gone bust, B, he's been squeezed out of his position and he's very, very down, or C, he's still in it and holding on for dear life and he's probably had a lot of cost to carry. So check out HLF on your chart whenever you're watching this one. Right, so that's his big one. That's the one he spent a lot of money kind of publicizing. Let's look at some of the his other kind of quotes and things that he's done in videos and interviews that perhaps we can take a little bit from and use in our own trading or generally in our pursuit of trading success. Okay, first one. Experience is making mistakes and learning. Pretty obvious, but sometimes you've got to step back a little bit and say, you know what, that makes a lot of sense. Experience is about doing, making the mistake, learning from it, improving, making the mistake, learning from it, improving, just like trading. You know, to get experience in trading, you have to make the mistakes. You have to trade through the good. You have to trade through the bad. But the important thing is that you're not out of the game. You're not losing all your capital. You're not losing all your financial capital or emotional capital, so that you have the opportunity to gain that experience, learning from the mistakes, so that when you have got experience enough to be able to trade profitably, you do have the assets to trade. You do still have the will to trade, and you can make a success of it. So that's just from a trading perspective. I guess in everything really, isn't it? It's about getting the experience, learning, making mistakes, pushing forward, and making sure those mistakes aren't big enough to knock you out of the game. It might have been Ray Dalio, might have been one of the other guys who said very, very similar thing. Make the mistakes, make plenty of mistakes, but make sure the mistakes aren't big enough to knock you out completely. So a decent one that. Okay, second one I've got for you. Do the right thing regardless of what others think. Nothing really trading related here. I guess it's just a way that this man approaches his life. Not a bad motto to have. Doing the right thing is always the right thing, regardless of what other people think you should be doing, if you're just doing the right thing. And my take on it is that's what he meant by that. He's basically saying, hey, I'm always going to have credibility and integrity in whatever I'm doing. Whatever that means from a trading perspective. Perhaps there's an analogy there with trading, thinking, you know what, he just thinks he's going to do the right thing from his analysis perspective, regardless of what other thinks. Maybe it's that, maybe it's more of a lifestyle thing. Let me know in the comment section below what you think he means by that. Do the right thing regardless of what others think. Anyway, regardless, don't repeat regardless too much, I think it makes sense purely from a lifestyle perspective. Doing the right thing is just a good thing to be doing, and probably from a trading perspective as well. If you're doing the right thing in terms of, hey, my filters are here, my triggers here, no matter what social media says, no matter what your peers are saying, you need to just execute that trade. So perhaps we could take both ways on that one. All right, number three, to be successful, you have to not be bothered by rejection. This is really going to be a life kind of success strategy, if you like, I suppose. You have to not be bothered by rejection. People are going to say all sorts of things about you. People are going to do this, they're going to do that. You've got to not care. It's like, listen, there's my goal. That's where I want to be. I'm just going to get to that. And of course, there are going to be people, naysayers, there's going to be this, there's going to be that. And we hear this from entrepreneurs. We hear this from businessmen. We hear this from anybody, athletes, anyone who's successful, whether it's financial or whatever it may be, some level of success. Always have this, hey, you know what, there's always going to be people who are saying no, or, you know, giving you abuse or this or that and the other, and you have to not be bothered by it and keep pushing forward. So good life lesson in general from Bill Ackman there. All right, what we've got here. Investing is a business where you can look silly for a long time. He certainly is at the moment, and is doing this video on his Herbalife. He's well out of it at the moment, but who knows. But a good point. You know, investing is not about being right immediately, and you can look like a fool. You know, you're putting money into something, nothing's happening, it's sitting around doing nothing for a long period of time. All of a sudden, it pays off. And in the day, I guess there's kind of that synergy between those two. You know, others think and rejection, it may look like it's not working, it's not doing this, but you're doing the right thing. You believe it's going to be right, you're still pushing on, you're making mistakes, you reinvest, you do this, you do that, do your research. You could be wrong for a long period. I put in inverted commas wrong, but then all of a sudden it rockets to the upside, which is where this comes from. You can look silly for a long period of time, and then you can be right. Same, I guess, on the short side. You can be wrong on the short side for an awful long period of time until you're right. Now, the danger, of course, on the short side is that it goes up many multiples, does still come down. By the time you paid your cost to carry, all this and all that, you've not made a lot out of it. So probably more in tune with the long side investment strategy. All right, final one here for you is diversification covers up ignorance. I think it's Warren Buffett who said, to get rich, to get wealthy, you don't, you put your eggs in different baskets. You put all the eggs in one basket and you watch that basket closely. So this is a similar kind of theme. Diversification covers up ignorance. People who've got very diversified portfolios are doing it. Ignorance may be a strong word here from him, but that's pretty much what he's saying. He's saying an expert would pick one or two things and invest quite heavily in those, as opposed to spreading eggs everywhere just in case he doesn't get it right, get it wrong. He kind of dampens his performance. Of course, it will dampen your performance in both directions. It will save yourself a little bit from the downturns, but you're not going to get monster moves to the upside than if you picked maybe one or two really good outperforming sectors, stocks, commodities, or whatever it may be. All right, there's a few things from Bill Ackman, famous Pershing Square Capital manager, owner, founder. Herbalife is his biggest, kind of most famous short trade. Some of his ideas here, trading, investing, life quotes. Let me know in the comment section below if you've heard any more from him. Otherwise, see you in the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.